In this video, we're going to take a look at how to multiply rational numbers. The first thing we need to remember is our sign rules. So remember, if you have the same sign, your answer is going to end up being positive. So that means a negative times a negative is a positive, or a positive times a positive is going to give you a positive answer. If I have one negative sign, so a negative times a positive, or a positive times a negative, my answer will be a negative. So this is going back to things like -2 times -3. I've got a negative times a negative, which my answer is going to be a positive, and then I just multiply like normal. 2 times 3 is going to give me 6. Whereas if I have -2 times a positive 3, 2 times 3 is still going to give me 6, but because I only have this one negative sign, it's a negative times a positive, my answer is going to be -6. So basically, with these sign rules, it tells us what the sign will be for our answer, and then we're going to multiply like normal. So let's review how to multiply fractions. When I'm dealing with fractions, if I have something simple like 1/2 times 3/4, basically I'm just going to multiply straight across the top. 1 times 3 is 3. I'm going to multiply straight across the bottom. 2 times 4 is 8. What do I do if I have a mixed number? So something like -1/2, 1 1/2, times maybe 2 3/4, positive. Well, first of all, I know my answer is going to end up being a negative answer, because I have a negative times a positive number. From there, I need to make sure that I change everything to a mixed number. To every mixed number to an improper fraction. So 1 1/2 becomes -3/2. I'm going to multiply that by 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11, 11/4. Okay. From there, I'm going to do the same thing I did up above. Remembering I multiply across the top. 3 times 11 is 33. Multiply across the bottom. 2 times 4 is 8. My answer will be negative. So it'll be -33/8, which then if I change into a mixed number, 8 goes into 33 4 times. I'm left with 1 over because 4 times 8 is 32. 33 minus 32 is 1, so I'm left with 1/8. So my answer will be -4 1/8. Okay. What happens if I have fractions that can be simplified? Let's just go over this. Remember, there's going to be two methods of ways approaching this. So if I gave you something like -12/13 times let's just do 39/48, for example. Okay, to be a little bit ridiculous in ways. Okay, for this particular one, I can multiply straight across and find out that 12 times 39 is going to give me the answer of 468. And let's make this fraction negative as well. So negative times a negative would give me an answer of positive. I could also then find out that 13 times 48 is going to give me 624. Okay, looking at these two numbers, they're really, really big. So I can begin reducing. Let's see what they're divisible by. Okay, they're actually both divisible by 4. So 624 divided by 4 gives me an answer of 156. 468 divided by 4 gives me an answer of 117. Okay, what else are these both divisible by? Well, let's see. They're actually both divisible by 3. 156 divided by 3 gives me an answer of 52. 117 divided by 3 gives me an answer of 39. Okay. And actually at this point, I'm not sure if I can go any further. I would have to think about this for a little bit. they're actually both divisible by 13, so 39 divided by 13 is 3, 52 is divisible by 13 as well, giving me an answer of 3/4. Wow, simplified that quite a bit, but look at the time it took me to do that. Let's show you a shortcut. If I deal with -12/13 times -39/48, I can look and say, how can I simplify this? Looking always on the diagonal, so up and down, and then also on the diagonal. You have to have one one factor in the numerator, one in the denominator. So for example, 12 and 48 are both divisible by 12. 12 is divisible by 12 once, 48 is divisible by 12 4 times. If I look at 13 and 39, 13 is divisible by 13 once, 39 is divisible by 13 3 times. So then if I multiply these numbers, 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 1 is 4, I get the same answer, but it's a lot quicker using the simplification. We're going to work on this a little bit because this method down here is the one I want you to use. It does take a little bit to get the hang of, but it's a lot less chance of making a mistake than up here once you get a hang on it. So this is the process we're going to begin to use for simplifying the fractions, as opposed to trying to multiply and then be able to simplify. Quick review of decimals. Okay, when I'm multiplying decimals, so 3.21 times 1.6, for example, okay, the key part that we want to identify is how many decimal spots do I have, places after the decimal. So I've got the 2, the 1, and the 6. So I have 3 decimal spaces, which means my final answer will require 3 decimal places as well. After this, for right now, we're just going to ignore the decimals. So I'm going to multiply like normal. So 1 times 6 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12, so I put the 2, carry the 1. 3 times 6 is 18, plus the 1 is 19. After that, I'm going to leave a space, or put a 0 as a placeholder. And then I'm going to go through with the 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. I'm going to go ahead and add what I have here. 6 plus 0 is 6. 2 plus 1 is 3. 9 plus 2 is 11. So I put the 1, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5. So I've got 5,136, but this is when I take into account the 3 decimal spaces. Start with a decimal over here, go over 1, 2, 3 spaces. So hence my answer is 5.136. Okay, so basically here is just normal long multiplication, just with the addition of counting up the decimal spaces, and that's how many places I need in my answer for the decimals. So anyway, this is what we're going to be practicing some tomorrow. Hopefully this has been helpful for you.